In this video, we are going to talk about inventions that are getting us off using fossil fuels. So before starting this video, please like this video, and subscribe to our channel and comment below that you subscribed, then I will reply back as soon as I see it. Every day, the world changes. And, as the public becomes more conscious of the harmful effects of fossil fuels, many people are looking for alternative energy sources to mitigate the impact. Wind energy, solar power, geothermal energy, and tidal energy are now seen as the future of our energy supply in many countries. We are currently too reliant on energy sources that will eventually run out. Our homes, offices, classrooms, jails, public buildings, and manufacturing plants are all powered by fossil fuels. These energy sources provide a reliable and cost-effective way to fuel these industries, but they also emit toxic CO2 into the atmosphere on a daily basis. We hope that, one day, renewable energy will fully replace fossil fuels, allowing us to slow and reverse the harm done to the Earth. Nuclear power, solar power, ethanol, and wind power are the primary alternatives to oil and gas energy. In global and domestic energy markets, fossil fuels still outnumber these alternatives, but there is significant public pressure to expand their use as businesses turn towards sustainability and greener business practices. More than 80% of overall energy consumption in the United States is accounted for by fossil fuels, which mainly consist of coal, oil, propane, and natural gas. Alternative energy sources have thus far proved to be uneconomical replacements for fossil fuels. They are inefficient and costly, or, in the case of nuclear power, fully prevented from expanding than fossil fuels. As a result, the government now offers a variety of discounts to customers who opt for cleaner green energy sources for their homes or cars. As more research and development is done in this area, and supply and demand laws of economics eventually drive prices down to be competitive with conventional fossil fuels, the number of oil alternatives is growing. Despite recent advances in green energy, coal, oil, and gas continue to play a significant role in the global energy system. At the time of the Industrial Revolution, fossil fuels changed the environment, but the harmful effects of carbon dioxide, CO2, pollution and other greenhouse gases can no longer be accepted. With the Paris Agreement in 2016, a number of world leaders joined behind a mission to take a stronger stand against the danger of climate change. Every country is required to reduce emissions in order to maintain global average temperatures below 2 degrees Celsius under this agreement. The clock is ticking, and more creative renewable energy alternatives must be established if this target is to be fulfilled. The new economy examines some of the most intriguing ways of green energy currently being developed. Here's a list of the inventions that are getting us off using fossil fuels. Let's start. Number 5. Whiskey. Biofuel may be made from the waste products of a common alcoholic beverage in the future. The new fuel, which is based on whiskey, could reduce the market for oil, according to researchers. A Scottish professor has discovered a way to convert the byproducts of whiskey distillation into biobutanol, a form of alcohol. Biobutanol can be used as a source of energy. Whiskey is made from grains like maize, rye, and wheat. The liquid is purified first. It's heated until it turns into a gas. After that, the gas is cooled, and the liquid that results is stored. Martin Tangney is the director of Edinburgh's Napier University's Biofuel Research Centre. He claims that less than 10% of what is produced is whiskey. The remainder is often made up of one of two undesirable byproducts, pot ale or barley. According to Tangney, the two byproducts can be combined to make a new material called biobutanol. Biobutanol does not require the replacement of car engines, according to him. For decades, Scotland has made whiskey, and distilleries have found ways to deal with the waste produced as a byproduct, sometimes selling it to farmers as cattle feed. The industry is now searching for a more creative way to deal with the 4 million tons of waste it generates per year. The Green Alliance estimated in 2015 that the demand for whiskey waste byproducts could be worth £140 million, $184 million. Some distilleries are now turning to anaerobic digester plants to generate biogas, which is then converted into steam energy to power their operations. Glendullan Distillery, owned by drinks giant Diageo, provided 6,000 megawatt-hours of thermal energy in its first year of operation, reducing fossil fuel demand by a quarter. Byproducts from whiskey can also be used to generate heat and power automobiles. Number 4. Wave energy. Using the energy produced by the ocean's waves appears to be a simple concept. Unfortunately, in fact, it is much more difficult. Researchers have been working on an ideal concept for years, but a commercial-scale wave power project has yet to materialize. In 2008 and 2009, a small-scale wave snake scheme worked off the coast of Portugal, but the intellectual property was passed to Wave Energy Scotland, a governmental entity, after the Scottish business that developed the technology went bankrupt. Wave energy research is also ongoing. Lockheed Martin, the world's largest engineering firm, announced plans in February to construct the world's largest wave energy project to date, a 62.5 megawatts facility off the coast of Victoria, Australia. The EU is also collaborating with Wave Energy Scotland on a project to develop open-source applications for wave and tidal energy systems in the hopes of attracting private investors. Number 3. Solar paint. Solar panels are one of the most popular renewable alternatives to fossil fuels. But what if you could harness the sun's energy while avoiding the panel's environmental impact? After developing a paint that can produce electricity, researchers from the Royal Melbourne Institute of Technology in Australia may have found a response. The material can absorb solar energy as well as moisture from the surrounding air by mixing titanium oxide, which is used in many wall paints, with synthetic molybdenum sulfide. When the results were revealed in 2017, lead researcher Dr. Torben Danicke said, "The simple addition of the new material can turn a brick wall into energy harvesting and fuel production real estate." Number 2. Hydrogen fuel cells. Hydrogen is one of the most plentiful elements on the planet, and although its usage in the power sector is not recent, exciting new technologies have reignited interest in it. Hydrogen fuel cells can generate renewable energy from a wide range of sources. They can be used in the transportation sector in the same way as lithium-ion batteries can, but they don't need to be recharged. Due to the high cost of hydrogen technology, adoption has been slow, but on September 17, Germany began operating the world's first hydrogen-powered passenger trains. A number of other European countries are also considering hydrogen trains, and Reuters announced in September that European Union energy ministers agreed to collaborate to boost hydrogen's prospects in the transportation and power sectors. Number 1. Elephant grass. Before coal, oil, and gas became more readily available, biomass energy was the preferred fuel for decades. CO2 emissions are wreaking havoc on our atmosphere today, and it is once again a serious contender in the global energy mix. Biomass is any organic material derived from plants or animals, although it is most commonly in the form of wood. Next Fuel, a clean tech startup based in Sweden, has invented a method that uses an alternative to wood pellets. Next Fuel provides a CO2 negative alternative to fossil fuels that can be used directly in current energy infrastructure using elephant grass. Elephant grass is a unique plant that can grow up to 4 meters in 100 days and produce several crops per year. After the grass has been harvested, Next Fuel's technology transforms it into a briquette in its factory with very little electricity. The entire carbon cycle becomes negative on a yearly basis when less CO2 is emitted into the environment when the fuel is burned than was captured from the atmosphere a few months ago when the grass was rising. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoy this video and want to hear from me again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go. Thanks for watching.